What is missing to win the UCL? And this is what will bring me into the conversation in the news, right? The title of this broadcast, Erling Haaland, or Erling Haaland. I think it's Holland. I want to say it right. Haaland chooses a small club, Manchester City. One of the most wanted, most targeted young player in the world chose to go to small club Manchester City. He did not go to the big clubs. The big clubs being Manchester United, Liverpool, Arsenal, Real Madrid, Barcelona, Bayern Munich, Juventus, PSG. He did not go to the big club. Erling Haaland, arguably, man, you would say Mbappe, Haaland, Mbappe. This young man, bright future, chose to go to small club Manchester City. Now, I'm not going to be the one to go line for line when we want to discuss big club, small club. I'm not going to be that guy. You have a criteria. If you say this is how I determine what a big club is, for the sake of argument, I'll agree with you. And what I'm constantly told is that you're not a big club until you've won the UCL. Okay? You're not a big club until you've won multiple league titles. Okay? You're not a big club until you're consistently playing in the Champions League. Okay? You're not a big club until your fan base reaches a certain, I don't even know what the threshold is. And I'm like, okay. I don't care whether you label me a big club or not. That justification, that identification, that classification, I don't need it from you. I don't need it from rivals. I don't need it from pundits. My club can remain labeled whatever you like. And I'll gladly accept that it's a small club. What do I care? I know better. It's the fan base that I care about. It's the performance on the field that I care about. It's the memories that I'm able to experience watching players that I like, watching a manager that I like, watching a club that I like. That's what I care about. Big club, little club, who cares? Because once we become a big club, it's going to be something else you're going to hold over the club's head, right? Hold over the fans' heads. I get the banter. I love the banter. The banter is to go back and forth. But at the end of the day, does it really matter? It doesn't matter, because let's look at what's happening here, or let's look at the evidence. Because the criteria of what people are saying is the criteria that's set out there on what is a big club, I often see different actions, different results proving that what you're saying should be a big club, and what's happening out here is kind of showing that we're a big club, even though it's not meeting your criteria. Let me put a break in this rant a little bit. Let me look at these comments. 1 second, guys. Sorry about this. Rob's in the building. Thank you Thank you. Hello, my friend Rob. Like I said, Rob graced me with his presence on the home and away debut episode, which we did last week. Love the response. Looking forward to having another show actually, and maybe with regards to this signing. And you know what? One thing, you know what? Let me save it. Let me save it. Let's not talk about it on the show. I see you, Rob. Thanks for tuning in. I love it. He also goes, "Are you talking about?" No, I am not. But that will be a conversation that we should have. That should be a conversation that we should have. My guy, Rob. So, as you saw by the title, guys and girls, Manchester City, from pundit to rival fans, and even some internal fans, is not a big club. Manchester City is not a big club. Okay. I need to I need to talk about why it doesn't matter. Or let me say it a different way. It does matter. It does matter that Manchester City isn't a big club because it now points out that Erling Haaland coming to the club did it for the project. A young player, and I've talked about this on another show, a young player taking a lay of the land, deciding where can I go. I know the type of player I want to be. I know the legacy that I want to maybe look to achieve. I know that I have the goals in mind. I have targets that I want to hit. He's chosen to go to Manchester City, quote unquote, a club with no history, quote unquote, a club with no Champions League pedigree or heritage. He's made a choice to go there. Why? Because he sees an opportunity to bring, I guess, those eluding or missing trophies or success to the club. Okay. Why would I be mad at that? It's good ambition from the young kid. I say young kid. Don't mean to be disrespectful. Rivals are going to tell us, he's going for the money. That's how Manchester City is able to compete. That's all that they do. They splash the cash. Fans, Manchester City fans, wait for the details. Wait for the details with regards to how this deal is broken down. Have confidence in that. It's such an ugly space out there in the media. And the reason why I'm going to say this, and Vader Games, you're wearing your tinfoil hat, you're talking crazy, it's always the world against Manchester City, yada, yada, yada. But it's factually true. It's funny, it's weird, because on my odd time, when I'm actually kind of like brainstorming or jotting things down, work-related, not with regards to this, I sometimes jump into Twitter spaces and I'm listening to some of these combos. And some of the combos can be really tiresome. Same old thing. It's like people jumping in with the same kind of monologue into different spaces saying the same thing, or really having the same point, and becomes more of an echo chamber because one person is just repeating what they heard from someone else. And it's funny enough, sometimes they don't fact check, so it becomes a hilarious thing. But when you listen in these spaces and you're constantly hearing that Manchester City isn't one of those clubs, isn't one of the go-to destinations. Historically, you could be right. You are right. But it's the here and now. Erling Haaland is making the choice to go to Manchester City for the here and now. Things change. Things evolve. It wasn't so long ago that the Reds were the standard of EPL football. Now it's the Manchester City Blue. When you Got to take confidence in the project that's being built. On another show, I am going to talk about player after player with regards to our backline, midfield, to the forwards. I don't like doing it during the season because I hate speculating on who I hate suggesting on who needs to leave and who needs to stay. I know players like Raheem Sterling. I know players like Jesus. I know players like Grealish, players like Foden, De Bruyne, Silva, Gundogan, Ederson, Stones. I could go through the entire list. I know those guys have burners. They got burner accounts on these social spaces. They're not going to hear my voice talk bad about them during the season. Not with regards to transferring them and getting them out. No, that's not me. It's just not me. You can say it's weird. It's fine. Talk about the performance 100%. But I have that siege mentality with regards to a playing season. Right? The playing season, we're all brothers here. We're all pursuing the same goal. You may not be up for it in terms of like your ability at the time or mentality, but it remains all in house. Criticize your performance, but I'm not talking about getting you out the door for somebody else. When the season's over, definitely tune in to Vader Games, Why Always Me. We'll have that conversation 100%.